Michael Moore, fed up or fired up? He calls the election a day of reckoning, and why he thinks the Democratic loss was really a win. How does he feel about George W. Bush now? And what do Oprah and Tom Hanks have to do with it? Find out, because Michael Moore is here for the hour next on Larry King Live. Good evening. Program note before we start. General Colin Powell will be here Monday night. Our senior executive producer, Wendy Walker, on Tuesday. President H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush on Wednesday. Dolly Parton Thursday. And Russell Brand 1 week from tonight. But tonight's guest is old friend Michael Moore, the Academy Award-winning documentary filmmaker and the best-selling author. Always happy to welcome him to Larry King Live. Michael, let's get right at it. The Democrats took a pounding in the election. Was this anger at Democrats, embrace of Republicans, general anger, or I've had enough?
I think it's more
of
the
above.
Well, no, I think it's more of I've had enough. I think that people are upset at Democrats and Republicans. Democrats are in power. Unemployment rate officially is close to 10%, probably unofficially closer to 20%. 53% of the population, according to the Washington Post this week, say that every month they worry about whether or not they're going to be able to afford the mortgage or the rent. That's the mood of the country, and so the Democrats were there, and that's what happened.
But why didn't they sell something, an extraordinary health care bill, whatever you think of it, it's the first one in 100 years, and I think 85% of the population got a tax decrease. Mm-hmm. What was the anger?
First of all, the health care bill, and there are many good things about that bill, though it didn't go nearly as far as I wish it would.
Better than you had before.
Absolutely better, because if you've got a kid that's 25 years old, they could still be on your health insurance plan, et cetera. Too much of the new health care bill doesn't take effect till 2014. So people didn't feel the immediate impact in these last few months before the election. So I don't think anybody went to the polls thinking, geez, well, our whole health care problem is solved, my personal health care problems are solved. That's not really the mood of the country, because so much of that, they put it off.
But he gave a tax decrease to the middle class.
Right, and put it in what he called the stimulus bill. And it was like, I mean, that's part of the Democrats' problem. I think I'm not the first person to say that they don't know how to talk to people. And why would you call it a stimulus? Why don't you call it a jobs creation and a tax cut bill? They don't do that. I think, here's honestly how I think the people see this. The government is like this giant frat house. And for the last 8 years, a very rich frat boy and his frat boy friends essentially destroyed the house. Now imagine if you, say, were the landlord of that house. And after 8 years, they completely destroyed the house. You bounce them, you get them out of there, and you hire a guy to come in and fix the house that they messed up. That's what the American people did. They hired President Obama to do that. And let's say you went off on a cruise or around the world trip for a couple years and you came back, and the house is still in the same friggin' mess that you left it in. Would you be mad still at the frat boys who had the house for those 8 years, or would you be mad at the guy that you hired and had 2 years to do something to fix your house?
So does Obama share a lot of blame for this shellacking, as he called it?
Yeah, well, yes, because he didn't come out of the gate fast enough, hard enough, strong enough for the things that the people elected him to do. He came out wanting to compromise. He would start to compromise before even anybody asked him to compromise. Instead of just, for instance, on the public option with the health care bill, instead of just let's here's what I believe in and fight for it. He goes in with a compromise, and I think I'm sure you agree with this. Most Americans, they're not ideologues. They don't think of themselves as left or right or Democrats or Republicans. What they do like is someone who's strong, someone who's principled, somebody who has the courage of their convictions. And
you could be all those three things in a wacko.
Yes, we've had those.
You could be a dictator.
Yes, you could be. Or you could be Franklin Roosevelt. Right?
Right.
Or you could be Franklin Roosevelt. And had he made the decision to come into office and act like Roosevelt, I don't think that it would have been as rough as it was in last week's election.
Do you think he gets it?
No. Oh yeah, I think he gets it, but I think the part that he doesn't get is that he can't keep operating in this let's all get along mode when the other side doesn't want to get along. I mean, he's got to say, and he's got to get out of the rut. And I think people watching the show and who supported him, and I know, I mean, a lot of people, friends, people who voted for him, everybody's a little down and depressed this week. But it's like, okay, come on, snap out of it. We still have the White House. We still control the Senate. The majority of Americans still agree with us on the basic issues in terms of, jobs, the environment, we should bring the troops home, all this. I mean, the majority of Americans take the Democratic position.